I'm Eric June, as just introduced. The world is changing rapidly. We've entered an era where it's hard to talk about anything without mentioning AI. In the United States, companies sometimes pay over $100 million, more than 140 billion won, to recruit a single core AI developer, and they invest astronomical sums, even in the billions, to acquire AI-specialized companies. Even in Korea, it's now difficult to discuss new challenges without bringing up AI. All companies are now launching products that incorporate AI. Today, I want to narrow the focus from the AI services we commonly see and talk about how AI can be applied specifically to security. At AhnLab, the future of security we aim for is an integrated security system that combines endpoints, networks, and the cloud, all based on AI technology, to achieve a safer security framework. In this session, I would like to introduce how AhnLab is preparing for the future and what strategies we are using. First, if we look back at the history of AI, it started out simply as machine learning, where machines would learn and make decisions in a straightforward way. Then, in 2016, with the emergence of AlphaGo, people began to realize how artificial intelligence could be connected to our daily lives. I believe the real turning point when we started experiencing AI as a service was in 2020. With the arrival of large language models, or LLMs, which are represented by language models, not only language but also voice, images, and what we call multimodal capabilities have enabled communication between humans and machines. As a result, AI started to become much more closely integrated into our lives. By 2023, it took another step forward and began to actually gain the ability to perform tasks. So now, AI has gained the ability to make its own plans and find solutions on its own, and each product has started to prioritize these capabilities and incorporate them into their product. This stage is not just about simply using AI within a set process to solve problems, but rather, it's when AI itself starts to create plans, gather information, and solve problems autonomously. Then, more recently, with the emergence of reasoning AI, we've reached a point where, although AI has long surpassed humans in terms of massive memory capacity and fast data processing, the addition of reasoning capabilities has brought AI to a stage where it is actually becoming comparable to humans. So, to explain how AI is being applied in security, before 2020, AI was mainly used to detect and classify things like malicious files or phishing anomalies, automating specific tasks or speeding up repetitive work to save people time. But with the advent of generative AI in 2020, groundbreaking uses of AI leveraging LLMs began. Now, you can ask questions by voice and get answers by voice, translate languages, or receive detailed explanations about results. These kinds of applications have started to emerge. Then, moving into 2023, with the rise of agentic AI, the term autonomous security began to appear. AI has now reached the stage where it can independently devise plans to solve problems, gather and organize information, resolve the issues, and even write reports. To explain the difference between automation and intelligence, up until now, the AI we've been using can be considered simple automation. We're using AI in part to quickly carry out repetitive tasks and perform them repeatedly according to defined rules. If automation has played a role in drastically reducing work hours, then with intelligence, we've reached a stage where machines can learn and make decisions on their own, that is, they can find the optimal path and autonomously adapt to changes in their environment. It's not just about simply improving work efficiency at each step within a given process, but through intelligence, the system now finds the optimal path on its own, gathers data, and draws conclusions. Looking at it more closely, up until now, the application of AI functions has mainly focused on simplifying and streamlining tasks within a set process through a single function. However, unlike previous methods, now each individual function can be combined in an order that isn't predetermined, allowing the system to operate in a more flexible way. What this means is that AI can determine its own path, find the optimal route, and combine the necessary agents to solve a problem. In the illustration here, there are 4 processes shown, but in reality, there could be 2, 3, or 4 processes. The order can change, and who makes the decision? It's the AI that decides. Deciding on the form needed to solve the problem is exactly the role of these agents. The explanation I just gave is really the core of today's entire presentation. It's not an exaggeration to say so. Here at AhnLab, we are currently focusing our efforts on turning these unit modules into agents. By combining these AIs, we are creating larger agents and currently implementing systems so that the best agents with problem-solving abilities can operate. Up until now, the application of AI has been limited to detecting various types of identified threats. The agentic AI we are currently aiming for is focused on achieving autonomous security in security operations from a response perspective by utilizing agentic AI. So, by leveraging problem-solving capabilities and operating an autonomous security system, our products are evolving to reduce administrator intervention and minimize mistakes. So far, I have talked about the basic processes, history, and overview of AI. Now, I will explain in more detail how AhnLab is utilizing AI. Currently, many of AhnLab's products incorporate AI using machine learning techniques. As you can see, when we talk about security operations, there is a series of processes based on threat intelligence, detecting threats, analyzing them, responding to them, and then creating reports. In this process, to detect threats, we use EDR to detect malicious activities, XDR to identify abnormal log behaviors, or NDS to detect phishing emails and attachments. These are the steps we go through, and AI is operating within all of these systems. AI is working to improve detection efficiency and increase accuracy. However, since there is no UI, customers may not realize that AI is operating. Customers often don't realize whether it's running, but inside, AI is actively operating for detection. To make this possible, we develop machine learning-based data pre-processing steps and deep learning models. To detect suspicious malicious files, we go through data pre-processing, find the appropriate deep learning model, and apply it to our products. For threat behavior detection, we also apply suitable models to our products through data pre-processing. Even when detecting phishing, snitching, or malicious URLs, we go through various pre-processing steps to find the right model and apply it to our products. These pre-processing steps and deep learning models each perform their own function. We have already completed the work of integrating these through a single generative AI. So, these are now being incorporated into our engine in the form of generative AI. By combining AhnLab's unique threat intelligence and various analysis content and product usage information, we are not only enhancing threat detection rates, but also focusing on improving overall security operations productivity. This is achieved through multi-model detection, providing detailed explanations, enabling interactive analysis and operations, and even generating analysis reports. Maybe, if you try out our XDR product, you'll see that these features are incorporated into the product as an AI assistant. If you go outside, you'll see that we have an exhibition set up. If you check out our XDR product, you can actually see for yourself everything I've explained so far. If you take a look at how files are detected through these features, you'll see here that when you upload a file, the system detects whether the PDF file is malicious. In the past, as shown in the previous illustration, the process would be to open the file first, determine what type it is, whether it's a PDF, an Office file, or an image file, and then apply a model tailored to each type. But now, it doesn't work that way. Now, you just upload the file, and the AI automatically identifies the file type, applies the appropriate model, and produces a result, as you can see here. So, instead of just showing you that it's a malicious file, as you can see, it also provides a detailed explanation. That's the strength of LLM models, the ability to explain things through language. We're actively leveraging these features. All of these capabilities are already integrated into the product. Especially when it comes to vulnerability assessment, let's take a look at what security activities we need to perform. First, if you ask what vulnerabilities exist in the OS you're currently using for vulnerability assessment, the AI will provide you with a detailed answer and even an explanation, as you can see. So, what about the next step for people involved in security activities, the security personnel? What do they do? After the assessment, you'll likely ask about what threats exist by requesting a threat scenario. If you ask for an explanation of possible attack scenarios, you'll get a detailed explanation as well. Next comes the response, so how should you respond? If you ask for the truth, as you can see, you'll get a detailed answer. And finally, if you ask how we should operate the product through a playbook, as shown, you should provide a thorough explanation. All of these things are already reflected in the product. Some of you may have noticed, but each step is being carried out by a person. When we operate as we have been doing, we go through steps like diagnosing vulnerabilities, explaining scenarios, suggesting response strategies, and reflecting them in the product. This is a feature that utilizes the generative AI we are currently using. Up to this point, this is the level that is currently reflected in our product. These features are incorporated into the engine, and now, under the name AhnLab AI+, they are evolving into agentic AI. At AhnLab, we are working to develop agentic AI, which is different from what we've done so far. It is expected to be integrated into our products in the near future. To explain agentic AI in more detail, this screen shows the architecture of agentic AI that we are developing at AhnLab. Each function necessary for security activities is handled by a single agent, and by combining these agents, we can create new, larger agents, which will then be manifested as individual products. Each product will also serve as an agent itself. As you can see, when a command is given to the orchestration AI at the very top, the AI determines which products to use and how to achieve the goal, combining and coordinating functions to solve the problem. So, once a command is given, we are currently developing an agentic AI that can plan and execute the entire process without any user intervention. The products you can encounter, such as XDR, RMXDR, or security monitoring, can be considered orchestration agents. We are implementing features where, once a command is given, the AI decides and resolves these matters on its own. If we look a bit deeper inside, at the very bottom layer, we centralize the data and use model training to create a model, which we have currently implemented as the AhnLab LLM. Here, we have AhnLab's unique knowledge database and security guardrails in place, and we are using these to implement the agent. These agents communicate through the APIs in the middle. As you can see, agents responsible for functions like detection AI, threat intelligence, and operations are positioned in the middle, and by combining these agents, the system is structured to form a large orchestration agent. Each product utilizes these functions to implement its features. Each one also serves as an agent, playing its respective role. Let me show you an example of how AhnLab uses Agent AI. As you can see, you can ask which of the ongoing events is the most threatening. This is the only thing the security manager needs to do. When you give the command, the AI independently creates a plan, just as I explained earlier, and according to that plan, it checks the list of risks. It also checks the list of assets where risks have been detected. And finally, by reviewing the events, the AI autonomously generates a conclusion. As you can see here, it checked 3 sets of data. This is something the AI decided. No one else made that decision. The AI determines which data to collect and how to draw conclusions from it. What I just showed you was in the form of an animation. In the next session, Dr. Sungkyun Lee will probably show you a real demonstration captured from the actual product. You can also check it out through the product at the booth outside. As I've mentioned so far, in order to implement agentic AI, generative AI serves as the foundation. In generative AI, we handle tasks such as threat intelligence, detection, analysis, response, and reporting. In agentic AI, these tasks will be integrated, and the AI will autonomously determine the order and collect data on its own, advancing to a new stage. The realization of autonomous security, where AI recognizes problems on its own, solves them, plans, gathers information, and makes decisions. This is the world of AI agent autonomous security that AhnLab pursues. To solve problems, AI will reason and plan independently, and each responsible AI product will play its role. The AI acts as the brain in the middle, while each product serves as an agent around it. This is the world of AI agent. Up until now, we have utilized the AI of each individual product. But now, instead of just using AI will stand at the center as the brain, and each product will take on a form where it utilizes that central AI. When that happens, we believe that through collaboration between AI agents, AI will be able to actually plan and execute processes, realizing autonomous security. When that happens, integrated security operations can be completed with a single command. As you can see, when you give just one instruction, the AI automatically gathers information and draws conclusions. This is the agentic AI in the world of autonomous security that AhnLab is creating. To realize autonomous security through agentic AI, we need a platform that autonomously operates services by assisting human roles. This is the world of autonomous security operation systems that AhnLab is aiming for. If this becomes a reality, current security operations will no longer be a series of processes where, when an event occurs, a ticket is issued, data is collected, responses are made, and reports are written. Instead, when a risk arises, the AI will automatically determine the sequence of actions through inference models. AI autonomously carries out the entire process, from collecting data, responding, writing reports, and even updating the database. This is what we call autonomous security AI. Currently, AhnLab offers a variety of security solutions for endpoints, cloud, network, OT, and more under the AhnLab Plus brand, providing them through 6 different platforms. As this model evolves into AhnLab AI Plus, we believe that when each agentic AI serves as the brain at the center and each product utilizes AI, we can achieve these capabilities. A world where AI agents are at the center and act as agents for each product, this is exactly the autonomous security that AhnLab aims for. The external environment is changing rapidly, and AI is transforming every work environment. In the field of security as well, if we don't quickly adapt to new platforms utilizing AI, we will be left behind. AhnLab is conducting AI research through continuous R&D and effort, so that a safer world can be realized more quickly in many countries. Today, we have a variety of sessions prepared for you. I hope this will be a great opportunity for you to gain a lot of valuable information, and with that, I will conclude the first keynote session. Thank you.